Welcome, everyone, to day 23 of Thought Garden. And before I get started, as always, just want to remind you, if you're catching this video on live and it's the first Thought Garden devotional that you've seen, feel free to go to YouTube and put in Felicity Joy Solomon. Welcome to subscribe, but you can also just look for my playlist there on Thought Garden, and all of these daily devotionals will be listed there for you. So today, I want to talk about a topic that I'm very passionate about. I actually just got off of an interview with a lady named Maggie Kavanaugh. She's got a really cool show called Keys to Life, and I'll be sharing that on my Facebook page as well. I'll share it. And we got into this topic of respect. I have a few soapbox items, to be perfectly honest. If you've been watching all these days, you've seen that. But respect is a huge one. And today's devotional is called Respect Can Heal Our Nation. And I believe this. That phrase right there says a lot. I believe that with all my heart. I am truly a person that will fight for your right to disagree with me. Like, I am a person that believes that in between being right and being humble, you choose humble. You choose humility. And humility is really, because there's a lot of false humility. True humility is obeying God. And so you humble yourself to God's instructions at that moment. So it may be that you stand for truth in a very bold way, even in personal matters, because God is moving on your heart to do that. But that's the scripture that talks about be slow to speak and slow to anger. Like, I'm very slow to disagree with people. And that's where I'm slow to speak, because I know I don't know everything. And we live in a time that is a lot of shifting happening, and God is doing some new things in the earth. So in order for us to really be following God, instead of trying to really be ahead of God in a way that, we'll look around and be like, whoa, where's God? Because we're not really following on the path that he would have us to go. And so the thing that's going to get us there is respect for one another. We've talked quite a bit about God in us, God through us, and the power of Christ, the same power that raised Jesus from the dead, living in us. That is true, especially being made in the image and likeness of God. That is true of every person that you see. I mean, we could potentially argue that there are some people that the devil created. I'm not going to get into that right here, but you're not going to really know that. And if you sit there and think that you can know that, you're probably going to judge way more people as being made by the devil than is what is actually true. So it's probably better just to look at everyone as being made in the image and likeness of God. Really assessing how you like being treated. And a big thing for me is I don't like people ignoring me. I don't like them disregarding me. It's all right, again, if you disagree with me. I just don't like to be ignored. We all have our things we like and don't like. But I think Jesus directed us in a way where we could really understand how to treat people if we really understand those things we like and those things we don't like. And we make sure that we're extending that to others. So Felicity's real big on respect. I like to be respected, and it is very, very important to me to show respect, especially when I disagree with people. One of the things that makes that easy for me to do in my belief system is I believe that the truth has clues. I believe that the truth, when all things laid out on the table and being considered, when you're calm you can assess, you can look at facts, you can look at details, you can see the results of things. And I just trust that when people are calm, that they have that ability. God made things so that they can actually make those assessments and make good assessments for their own lives. You go ahead, you try something out, you see how it works. And if you're not trying to defend a position because you're angry at someone else, then you can see, okay, that worked in my life, that didn't work in my life. Like, this is going well for me, this isn't going well for me. But when you have pressure and things like that, you don't often make a good assessment because you're just trying to defend a position. When we disagree with people in a toxic way, the discussion now is about the way we're talking to one another. Okay? The discussion now is about the fact that I'm yelling at you or you're yelling at me. But what about the actual issue that we came to the table about, that thing we disagree on? Now, nobody's learning anything because we're shutting down that part of the brain that learns, and we're just in fight and flight and freeze mode. When we interject disrespect, the conversation changes. And often the actual issue, the point, gets completely lost. And that's a big problem right now because we have many important issues that we need to look at and discuss. And so the only way that that's even a potential is through respect. We must respect one another. In an atmosphere of respect, people are calm and they can do good assessments and they can look and see the fruit of things and then they can make a good decision. And that is why I believe respect can heal our nation. So enjoy day 23. I hope that word goes deep in your heart. And if you have any reflections about it, please, I look at those comments and respond. And thank you for my faithful viewers that are always sharing this out. Really appreciate that. And I will see you on day 24.